Vietnam has a lot of roads, and Hiep Motorbike Rental and Sale Travel Vietnam has apparently ridden all of them, written about most of them, and would like a word about the rest.
This episode covers a lot of ground. Border roads and mountain passes, what to do when your bike quits on a remote hillside, how to pick the right machine, and how to survive your first hour at Noi Bai Airport. Let's start with the routes themselves.
The premise here is that Vietnam's famous loops, Giang, Hai Van, have become the tourist tracks, and there's a whole other country waiting on the western edges, if you're willing to go looking.
The post on riding the border roads near Laos frames it directly. For sections extending over 100 kilometers between towns like Khe Sanh and Phang Nga, you will encounter virtually zero gas stations, mechanics, or intersections.
0 is a very specific number when you're watching your fuel gauge.
The Dalat to Nha train guide via Cong Lei Pass covers the other end of the country, a 33-kilometer descent dropping over 1,500 meters, with fog that can cut visibility to under 3 meters by early afternoon. The Hanoi to Sapa guide via Ca Phao adds a third corridor, translating the pass name as Skyhorn and recommending a 3 to 4 day window. And for riders who want a rest stop with a view, the Mountain Pass Cafes post rounds it out. Cliffside spots like Ma Pi Lang Panorama and Heaven Gate Cafe at Oak Quy Ho, where the scenery is the point. The Ba Bay National Park Guide fits the same spirit. Jungle tracks, a freshwater alpine lake, and Tay ethnic villages reachable only because you're on 2 wheels.
Which brings its own set of questions about what happens when those 2 wheels stop turning. The breakdown guide opens with a scenario most riders dread. Engine dies, dense jungle in every direction, and the nearest mechanic is somewhere over the next ridge.
The post sets out a clear sequence. On immediate diagnostics, it's direct. Many remote breakdowns are actually caused by incredibly minor issues that can be resolved in less than 5 minutes with basic knowledge. Focus your diagnostics on 3 core pillars: fuel, electricity, and mechanical switches.
So before you despair, check whether you accidentally hit the kill switch. That's a free fix.
Right, and the post walks through the spark plug check, the side stand sensor, and the fuel valve in that order. For communication, it recommends dropping a GPS pin immediately while you still have signal. Then looking for roadside signs, reading Sua Se Mai for repairs or Va Sam for tire work. The rainy season guide adds a layer to this. Wet roads in Vietnam go slick within the first 15 minutes of a downpour as oil and dust float to the surface. So the post recommends progressive braking on both levers simultaneously rather than grabbing the front brake. It also breaks down monsoon timing by region. The north peaks May through September, the central coast runs September through December, the south follows a fairly predictable afternoon pattern. The first-timer mistakes post pulls the threads together. Riding without a converted license, ignoring GPS files and ending up on an expressway where motorbikes are banned, buying a worn-out cheap bike, skipping rain gear. Each mistake has a direct consequence spelled out. The common thread across all 3 is preparation before departure, not improvisation after something goes wrong.
Which starts with picking the right machine in the first place. The bike comparison post frames the central question as comfort and reliability versus budget, specifically Honda Future 125cc against Honda Wave Alpha 110cc for long-distance semi-automatic riding.
The post puts the practical difference plainly. The Honda Future boasts a massive 18-liter U-Box capable of holding your rain gear, valuable camera equipment, portable power banks, and essential electronics safely away from unexpected tropical downpours.
The Wave Alpha, by contrast, barely fits a toolkit under the seat, which matters a lot on a multi-week loop.
The broader road trip guide adds context. It lays out the full spectrum from automatic scooters to manual dual sports, with a pointed warning against vintage copies sold for under $200 to anyone who isn't already a roadside mechanic.
The road ahead starts well before the first pass. It starts at the airport. The arrival guide treats Noi Bai Airport as its own obstacle course. Immigration, currency exchange, SIM cards, and a gauntlet of unofficial taxi drivers, all before you've slept.
On the taxi situation specifically, the post warns that unauthorized drivers might look polite, point at your phone, offer cheap rates, or lie by saying your hotel is closed or the road to the city center is blocked today. The recommended fix is a pre-booked pickup with real-time flight tracking and a named welcome sign at the gate.
For currency, the Post notes that the bank booths inside arrivals actually offer competitive rates, which is not how most airports work.
On SIM cards, Viettel gets the top rating for remote mountain coverage, which matters the moment you leave the city. The guide also covers the electric car transfer service into the city center, fixed pricing, no toll surprises, as the bridge between landing and getting on a bike.
So the shape of it is land, get oriented, pick your machine carefully, know what to do when it fails, and then go find the roads nobody else is riding.
The border routes, the fog-covered passes, the lakeside jungle loops, all of it holds up better when the preparation is solid. Next episode, more road.